All right, some big updates coming in. We were just speaking about Madras High Court's direction. Now a big relief for Thalapathy Vijay's last film as an actor, Jana Nayagan. Big relief has come to him. Madras High Court has directed CBFC to issue UNA certificate for the film forthwith. Pulls up the CBFC as well, says chairperson's order is beyond jurisdiction. Certainly something that the filmmakers and Vijay have been waiting for, just to get some sort of clarity over the certification issuance. The movie was supposed to be released today across the globe, but it could not, as the certification procedure got delayed, also without any given reason. Now, court has said that since the order is without jurisdiction, the court, using inherent powers, can modify the relief for the actor and the filmmakers. They have set aside the letter of the CBFC chairperson sending the movie to review committee. The court has asked CBFC to issue the certificate forthwith, and the category has to be UNA. Madras High Court also directed the CBFC that once the modifications recommended by the committee is carried out, the certificate would automatically follow. Details on a different date of the release of the film globally is awaited, but reportedly the filmmakers are now planning to release the film on or around 26th of January, since the Pongal's timeline has now been skipped. Big relief for Thalapathy Vijay's film Jana Nayagan. We are trying to collect more details on the story. It's a developing story. The direction has just come out. We just received this big breaking news coming in from the Madras High Court, directing CBFC to now issue the UNA certificate for the film. Some reactions also coming in. Let's take a look.
To the chairperson to review the movie again. The after Kuduvinar, most of the Kuduvinar, the censor board Kuduvinar, our path okay recommendation. After the giving recommendation, there is no jurisdiction to the chairperson. Therefore, to set aside the order passed by the chairperson and directed to the issue certificate to the film.
My colleague Vijay is joining us here on phone line to provide us more details with regards to this big breaking news of the hour coming in. A big relief, Vijay, certainly for Thalapathy Vijay and the filmmakers of Jana Nayagan. Although we are still unclear about what exactly the delay was about. The film was supposed to be released today globally, and the filmmakers will have to sustain some of the losses in terms of the finances. But what is going to be the next window that they are looking at?
As of now, what we understand is that the court had in fact come out against the CBFC. It had asked that why the certification was not given, despite the recommendation for creating, or rather the cuts that were in fact proposed in that film, and despite the makers complying with it, what led to the certification not being given. Interestingly enough, also the arguments pointed out that in the 5-member committee, 4 people had agreed to give UA. Only one person had a problem giving the certification, and therefore had proposed it to be reviewed by a larger committee. And therefore the argument was that the intention was not about the cuts in the film, but rather to delay its release. And as we all know that this is supposed to be Thalapathy Vijay's last film, and it is a film before he bids adieu to this career as he jumpstarts the political career in, and therefore this is considered to be one of the biggest grosses that could in fact come in, seeing as a last film of the actor. But however, as of now, it had been lying with the censor board, and there was a lot of issues with regard to the date. Earlier, they said that Jan 9th would be the time period in which the film will be released, and during that time, it was also said that they were eyeing for the Pongal release. And Pongal release is a very important time frame in which Tamil movies do release, because it's considered as the festive period during which you have several of these releases happening. And a Pongal blockbuster is what they would be in fact looking at. Most of the releases do in fact take up this particular time, and therefore this was also considered as to be one of the time periods in which the release was to be considered. But here we can see that the court did in fact take up the case as from the appeal from the petition filed by the makers of Jana Nayagan, and the court said that the UA has to be in fact granted forthwith, and therefore questions were in fact raised with regard to this certification within the CBFC, and now information also coming in that the censor board might in fact go ahead and go for the appeal. However, the legal wing of the TVK has in fact said that they are ready to face anything with regard to it, and they have also said that this is an attempt politically trying to derail the last release of the film. So the CBFC becoming quite in a situation where they are likely to in fact raise the matter again. The Madras High Court has in fact pulled up the CBFC on this, and it has said that the chairperson's order is without jurisdiction, and therefore it cannot be held, the film cannot be held hostage, and therefore despite all the compliance that has been put in, why the certification has not been made is a big question that has been asked to the CBFC. The HC also, in fact, went on to say that certificate should have been given after the modifications that have been put in place by the CBFC was carried out, and what we understand right now is that the makers are also mulling at probably newer dates, and they want it very close to the Pongal festivities, as they see that as the right moment. So right now, all eyes are on the makers of the film, and probably the release date as well.
Absolutely. Varghese, please stay with me. We have got a couple of more reactions coming in on the same matter. Let's hear all of them first, and then I'll come back to you.
Genuinely, we are doing everything, sir, because the movie is not screening, means the amount is worth each fans, so that they are refunding the amount, sir. As soon as the movie will come into the screen, again the Jana Nayagan movie will overcome to everything.
Varghese, reportedly there were some of the cuts which were suggested by the CBFC to the filmmakers, which were already done in the final footage of the film, which was supposed to be played from today onwards in the theatres. Apart from that, we are hearing that CBFC have suggested couple of more cuts, and because of the delay in that, the ultimate issuance of the certificate to the film got delayed.
Well, as I said, when the committee, in fact, after the cuts, there were 5-member committee, and that 4 had already given their go-ahead for it, and that one person is the one of the committee member is the one who, in fact, went ahead with the delay, saying that it has to be referred to a larger bench, and that is where, in fact, it got stuck. Now, the majority of the committee has given the UA certification. The question about the one person trying to get it for certification again was something that was being challenged on the ground. That was one of the arguments put forward by the TVK's legal wing as well on the film. Now, what we understand is that after the modifications had happened, the certificate should have automatically followed, and the court also said that the complaint grievance appears to be an afterthought with regard to it, and entertaining such complaints would give rise to dangerous trend. That is to say that the CBFC would have to do its duty as it is, and that the film shouldn't be seeking court's approval to get things done, and that is the kind of criticism that the CBFC has in fact put out in. Now, the film itself is said to be one of those, as the name suggests, Jana Nayagan is supposed to have political overtones with it, saying that the leader of the people, and therefore seen as the big political, the film splash before the political career that Vijay is expected to step in. So clearly, a lot of politics are also involving in the release as well. But for a lot of Vijay fans, they had been waiting for this Pongal release, and now it seems that they are related that the certification would come in, but the only question is when the dates would be for this release.
Speaking about the legal matter over the issuance of the certificate to film Jana Nayagan, Varghese, we've got the big breaking news now coming in. Some latest updates now trickling in. CBFC has challenged the Madras High Court's Jana Nayagan order, and CBFC has now planned to move High Court against censor certificate order. CBFC seeks urgent hearing against UNA certification for film Jana Nayagan. A lot of controversy, a lot of drama unfolding as we speak about the issuance of a certificate to a film which is supposed to be Talapati Vijay's last film before he completely takes over the political arena and also focuses on the upcoming elections in the state. The film, remember, ladies and gentlemen, for those who've just joined us, let me again tell you that the film was supposed to be released today, 9th of January of 2026, around the Pongal festivities. It's a very crucial time, like my colleague Varghese has already suggested, that this festival is very important for the people of Tamil Nadu, and accordingly, the release date was planned around that festival, but it could not happen because of the delayment in the issuance of the certificate to the film by the CBFC. And now the entire matter has reached the court and a lot of drama is unfolding with each passing minute over it. My colleague Vijay is also here with us on the broadcast to provide us more context. Vijay, this is the latest update now. CBFC is planning to take it forward. They are not very pleased with the kind of direction which has been given by the Madras High Court to them regarding the UNA certification to be given to Jana Nayagan.
Absolutely, Sakshi. Looks like there is no end to the entire controversy. Sakshi, our correspondent, is sending us all these information from the court, and she says now that the Additional Solicitor General A.R. Sundarasan, who's representing the CBFC under the direction of the chairman, has now mentioned it against this entire verdict and has knocked the door of the Chief Justice Mahendra Mohan Srivastav for an urgent hearing on this entire writ petition on the verdict that was passed by PT Asha's order. Now it looks like that the CBFC is also going to challenge this verdict against the UA plus certificate that the court had just ordered a few minutes ago. In fact, 30 minutes ago, this order had come out, and now you want an urgent appeal against it, keeping in mind that the court had also observed that 4 out of the 5 CBFC observers had given a go-ahead, while there was one, and I'd also called it an afterthought that became on the 5th of January. So it looks like that the controversy is going to be stretched, and now with this urgent hearing, the release date of the Jana Nayagan, the movie that was much awaited by fans in Tamil Nadu, will now get extended beyond the festive season, because this was one date that was decided for the release. But now with this urgent hearing being lined up, and the CJ has also accepted the fact that he will take it further. So it looks like the fans will have to wait. But what it also indicates is that the momentum that the movie wants has now been created, and actor Vijay, who's entering politics with this, will get a boost to say to his fans that how there are people against him in this entire journey of his when he's trying to enter politics and do something good for the people. So this may backfire the CBFC or may backfire Vijay. That only time will tell us now. But this latest information that we have got with regards to how there is an urgent hearing being appealed by the CBFC indicates that the controversy is nowhere going to end now.